Hello guys, I'm back. Today I will do with you a PNID review for pump installations. So I will show you how is the typical installation for a centrifugal pump and also for a positive displacement pump in order that you will be able to identify and explain why each one of the components are installed or are added in the piping and instrumentation diagram. My name is Jefferson Costa and I teach students, graduates, and engineers how to work with chemical process engineering and plant design. To start with, pumps are one of the most common equipments that you will find in an industrial plant. Every time that you need to move one liquid from one point to another and you don't have enough pressure to perform this transportation, you will need to install a pump in your process. And one of the steps in plant design is to build the piping instrumentation diagram, the PNID. To install a pump in the field, more steps are needed than just the PNID, but today let me show you how is the typical arrangement of a centrifugal pump for a plant design. And I will also share with you how is the typical arrangement for a positive displacement pump in plant design. So starting with the centrifugal pump, the first thing that we will observe every time that you are dealing with the pipe instrumentation diagrams is the symbols that are presented in your pipe instrumentation diagram. So you have symbols related to equipment, you have symbols related to instrumentation, you have information regarding the lines or the pipes that are associated to your process. So all of that are important because they inform something to the reader. From the valve, I have two branches, one to the pump B, one off to pump A, and the typical arrangement of a centrifugal pump starts with the isolation valve. So I have one isolation valve and a second one in series because I am talking about a flammable fluid. In the case of maintenance, the operator will need to close these two valves to try to guarantee that will not be any leaking between the vessel and the isolation valve going to the pump. To do the maintenance, again, I want to drain all the flammable fluids to guarantee the safety of the procedure. So in this case, there is a gate valve. The most common symbol for the gate valve is this one, preceded by a globe valve. And I have a globe valve because my system has a higher pressure than the flow-down system. So to control the amount of flow and to have a higher pressure drop, I have a globe valve here in series with another gate valve. Verify that the nomenclature NC usually means that normally closed. So in normal operation, this valve here, the gate valve will be closed, the second one will be closed, and there is here a vent valve or a blocking bleed to verify if the system was drained or drained. The material at the top of the valve, including the valve, has a higher pressure rating than the material below of the valve, because below of the valve I am going to a blow-down system that operates near to atmosphere, while in the suction of the pump I have a higher pressure, and because of that my materials must be more resistant to support the pressure inside the system. Going to the pump, you can see this symbol here that represents usually a strainer. So it can be a temporary strainer or it can be an operational strainer or a permanent strainer. In any case, in this installation here, we have a pressure indicator transmitter that sends a signal to the control room where the pressure indicator has an alarm of low pressure. And this is important because once I have a strainer here and it can block, it will not block from one day to another. It will gradually reduce or increase the pressure drop, and because of that reduce the pressure in the suction of the pump, so the operator will have enough time to verify that something is happening with the pump, so there is some issue in the suction of the pump, and with that, shut down this pump, close the suction and the outlet connections, and move the operation to the pump B. To be able to do that, besides the isolation valve in the suction, it's important to have isolation valve at the discharge. So the same principle is applied here. As we are talking about flammable fluid, the operator decided to have two gate valves or two isolation valves in series to try to guarantee the tightness of the system. In the discharge of the pump, you can see a special device. It is a check valve associated with a pressure relief valve. So if for any reason the discharge of the valve is blocked in the destination, the pressure will increase, and to keep the pump running, this PRV will open to recirculate the amount of fluid that must be pumped by the pump. Verify that we have also isolation, because we need to guarantee the total isolation of the pump in case of maintenance. So there is two valves in series also, in this case locked open, because it's very important to have the recirculation of the pump to guarantee its good functioning. Between two isolation valves, there is a small valve with a plug to guarantee that any fluid or any liquid will be withdrawn by mistake. In the discharge of the pump, we can see also a pressure indicator transmitter with a PI sending to the control room. So in the discharge of the pump and in the suction of the pump, we have pressure transmitters. In this case, not necessarily can be and need to be pressure transmitter. It can be manometers or a pressure indicator, local pressure indicator, but it's important to have this kind of instrumentation, because reading the pressure at downstream of the pump and the pressure upstream of the pump, it's possible to verify in the pump curve how is the amount of flow that the pump is running, or that the pumping is transferring. In this installation here, you can see that we have a tap of utility. We have a quick connection to connect nitrogen to make sure to clean all these lines before removing the pump for maintenance, because again, it is a pump installed with a flammable fluid service, and to prevent any kind of incident or accident, it's important to inert all the circuit before opening it to atmosphere. When we talk about centrifugal pumps installation, the most basic arrangement will be very similar to this one, with at least one isolation valve in the suction, one isolation valve in the discharge. We will have a check valve to prevent the return of the fluid. We will have a pressure indicator or a pressure transmitter to be able to read the head of the pump or differential pressure, and based on the differential pressure, transform it into head and read the pump curve. And we will have some instrumentation or automation regarding the start and stop of the pump. So these are a basic arrangement for the pump, and depending on the characteristics of the fluid, we will have the drain going to blow down, or it can be, if it is water, we can have some valves going to drain in the floor. Moving now for a positive displacement pump, you will verify that the main arrangement is very similar to the centrifugal pump, but there are a very important issue here, a very important instrumentation here that is added to the pump to prevent any kind of accident. So we can see here that we have isolation valve at the suction of the pump. We have here a manometer or a pressure indicator, and in this drawing you can see the isolation valve associated with the pressure indicator. It's very common that every pressure indicator that you have in the field or pressure transmitter that you have in the field has isolation valve. but some companies decide to show that in the pipe instrumentation diagram, others decide to not show. So if we return to the previous drawing, you can verify that it's not shown here an isolation valve for the pressure indicator transmitter, but it for sure in the field you will find this valve installed in the field. So when we have all the valves needed for the design in the pipe instrumentation diagram, for the user is much easier to understand, but because of that we have more symbols in the drawing and it can lead to more difficulties to read the drawing, or it will be too much populated the drawing. So it is a company's decision, and there is not wrong or right. You need to adapt yourself for the company's needs. We have here a flexible hose, and the flexible hose is because during the operation of the pump we can have some kind of vibration, and to dissipate this vibration from the pump to the piping, some companies decide to install this kind of fitting to the connections between the piping and the equipment, the pump. You can see that there is this flexible hose in the suction and also in the discharge, and you can verify that the flanges in the suction has a lower pressure rating than the discharge because in fact the pump is getting lower pressure and increasing to build higher pressure. And as it is a positive displacement pump, now we have in the discharge of the pump a pressure relief device, or a PSV, pressure safety valve. Why we have that? It's different from the centrifugal pump. The positive displacement pump will build pressure up to the system root. So if for any reason I start my pump and this isolation valve is closed, if I don't have a pressure relief device, my pump will build up pressure until my flange breaks, and with that I will have an undesired release of a fluid. So to prevent that, all positive displacement pump will have a pressure relief device in each discharge, or in this case. In this case, the discharge of the PSV goes to the suction of the pump because as a positive displacement pump, when I return the fluids to the suction, I will not build pressure in the system because the volume is fixed, so I will not take excess volume from the system. I will just recirculate the same amount of flow always in the positive displacement pump. Besides that, you can see here some different instrumentation for the motor, and in this case we have a VFD. What is a VFD? A VFD is a variable speed driver. It means that this pump here will not have a fixed volume or fixed rotation. Based on the needs of the process, it can have a higher rotation or lower rotation, and with that regulate the flow that is required by the process. For maintenance purpose, I also have isolation valve in the discharge, and I have also a check valve to prevent the misdirection of flow going to the pump. So with this, we get an overview of pump installations. And if you want to know more about chemical process engineering plant design, I suggest you to take a look in this video here.